Okay, there's a question in the group. How long does it take to get a new website approved for Google AdSense, and what's the potential monthly earning after approval? So let's explain firstly what Google AdSense is. You've probably seen it. So Google AdSense is the other side of Google Ads. So Google Ads is when you advertise and you pay per click. AdSense is the other side where the ads are showing on what's called the display network, where people can run ads on other sites and you get paid per click on those ads. Look, it sounds wonderful. I have done work in this area in the past. So just to show you quickly what Google AdSense actually looks like, if you notice down the bottom there, you'll see the box and that little square on the end there, that defines it as a Google ad that's coming from Google. This one's on the BBC, and you see actually how they've put it in the flow of what people read. There's a push towards using more and more images, but there is, in the past, it used to be called what's banner blindness, where people can realize that those are ads and they don't click on them. So there's your first sort of challenge. Just jump on the next one. So I've done work in this process. I have built, over one period of time, I built 10 different websites in specific markets. One was around the gutter guard market. Because for starters, to understand how this works, you've got to look at the where it comes from. So this is talking about earning potential. If you're in a market where someone is paying $5, $10, $20 a click on one side, then your earning on the other is going to be a percentage of that. So I'm not sure if the percentage off the top of my head, but it is quite low. Um, Pros and cons. So let's just jump into some pros and cons here just to think about that because it looks like an appealing model, but and there are some downsides to it. So it's fast. You can have ads up and running if you have an established site. Now, if you've got a new site that you're trying to put up for starters, it's going to have to get approved, and Google's going to recognize if the site has just been built for ads. They're going to look at you as if you're a new member coming into something, and you'll be immediately suspicious against you if the website doesn't have another purpose. So that's the first thing. The next thing is the traffic and earnings. So the only way to make a lot of money out of this is have a lot of traffic. And that's where you'll see sites like, the one I brought up was the BBC. So they have the TV network driving all the traffic into the site. People just searching for it and people clicking on their ads. Um, the earnings side of it is those are not huge earnings. And I even know of a site that is closing down, a TV site which is closing down. And I know they're not making enough money from ad revenue because you're only taking a percentage of what's on the other side. Now, what people have tried to do in the past is pick niches where there is a lot of high click cost on one side. But it's also, you still have to have a massive amount of traffic to get any money because you're only going to get, at the very most, 2% people clicking on your ads. And you'll notice in this on some sites where they are pushing ads in your face to try and get the links, get you to click on the ads, or you exit and there's an ad trying to get you to click on something. And Google's not a big fan of that either. And I'll tell you from the other side, from a Google Ads perspective, as soon as I set up a Google Ads campaign, I turn off the display network. So I don't run ads in display because they generally don't perform that well because they're on other websites and people are doing other things, not on Google itself. Um, so conclusion, I am not a big fan of it. I think there are better ways to make money on your site. I also, from the downside, is if Google can give it to you, they can take it away and they can quickly decide that your website has been built just for AdSense and they'll turn off your account just like that. And if you're owed anything, you won't be getting anything out of it. So, like I said, I'm not a big fan of it because I think it's a short-term try and fix to try and get some money out of your site. But unless you've got a large amount of income coming in, your website ranks number one, number two, number three for some very specific terms. The money you get out of it is so tiny that I've heard people getting, 6 cents for a month and those type of areas. So I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't think, unless you're the right model, like some of these big TV websites and thing, I don't think there's much in it. I've seen people try and build sites specifically for this, and they get traffic. And I got site up and ranking up to making $1,000 a month. The next time it was making $300 a month, and then after that was zero, because it all determined on Google ranking traffic. So if they can give it to you, they can take it away. So you're not the biggest fan. Bye for now.